This film shows the hatred and intimidation faced by Israelis in Scotland since 2010, and the response by those who support Israel. Pro-Israel, pro-Palestinian, pro-peace promotes education, dialogue and coexistence. We have brought this film together to show the issues that need tackling. We start with the experience of an Israeli Bedouin diplomat.
Ismail Khaldi was welcomed by the Arab TV station Al Jazeera in 2010. His reception in Scotland a year later was very different. Invited by the University Jewish Society, this is what happened. But that chant, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, implies the destruction of Israel, the only democratic country in the Middle East, and the only Jewish state in the world, one that gives full rights to minorities such as Bedouins like Ismail Khaldi.
Before I understood what was going on, I understood they wanted to, shut me down.
It wasn't just an Israeli Bedouin diplomat which the haters wanted to shut down. In 2012, pro-Palestinian demonstrators managed to bring to a halt the performance of the Israeli Bat Shiva dance troupe on 3 separate evenings during the Edinburgh Festival. They unfurled placards and Palestinian flags and began hurling abuse at the performers. The Telegraph described them as running amok. Then, in 2014, Israeli theatre company Incubator were prevented from performing at their booked venue at the Edinburgh Festival. They then performed a silent protest show on the street outside, and that too was disrupted. The haters were targeting anything Israeli, and they were being allowed to get away with their bullying tactics, singling out the only Jewish majority in the world. Edmund Burke said, "The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good people to do nothing. Sometimes it takes just one person to make things happen." That person was Nigel Goodrich. He was appalled by an Israeli haters event in his hometown of Dumfries in 2013. It was a groundbreaking event for him and the start of activating those who wished to stand with Israel in Scotland. In 2014, he collected money to buy products from the Israeli cosmetic shop in Glasgow, which was under attack from the haters, the Scottish-Palestinian Solidarity Campaign. Sadly, the haters were able to proudly boast that Israeli Jericho Cosmetics were kicked out of Glasgow Mall today and Israeli Kedem kicked out the week before. 2 years later, 2 of the protesters were convicted of aggravated trespass, but that was too late to help the businesses targeted by their hate.
In February 2016, a unique event took place, a motion debated in Holyrood. This House supports cultural bridges, not boycotts, with a COFIS demonstration outside and a huge pro-Israel presence, including diplomats from the Israeli embassy and representatives from COFIS from all over Scotland in the public gallery during the debate. With the result, the debate was resoundingly won.
Glasgow Friends of Israel had their inaugural conference in May 2015, and one of the workshops was by Judy Weleminski, whose organization is pro-Israel, pro-Palestinian, pro-peace. And she wanted to talk to people about street advocacy. And I went along and listened to what Judy had to say and was so inspired that I thought, that's it. So we're going to have a street stall on Buchanan Street, and mostly it's Palestinian stalls that are there. In fact, there's 3 roundabout where we are.
Unlike all the other stalls in the street, we have both Israeli flag and Palestinian flag on our stall. And people walk by and they don't understand how you could have 2 flags on one stall. So they come and inquire about it. Some of them actually think we're a Palestinian stall. So we explain to them the reason we have the 2 flags is because we are advocating for peace, and if you're going to have peace, it could only be for 2 people. You cannot have peace for one side, and therefore we are supporting both sides.
Shalom means peace, and the festival brought Israelis of all kinds together for an exhibition and gala event celebrating Israeli culture and diversity. But the haters tried to block us from holding the festival and then mounted a hate-filled protest outside our venue.
We were invited to the Shalom Festival to present the film The Forgotten Refugees. It's about the 850,000 Jewish refugees from Arab countries who were ethnically cleansed. Just as we put on the film, the demonstrators started using a megaphone and started drowning out the sound of the film with their slogans. And they were shouting, "From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free." And in no uncertain terms, they were saying, we want to ethnically cleanse Israel of every last Jew. So the irony of it all was we were showing a film about the ethnic cleansing of Jews from the Arab Middle East, and they were saying they wanted to finish the job.
So this year, we have worked very hard with the police to explain to them how it is that what people say and what they wave can actually cause alarm. That phrases like, "From the river to the sea, Palestine shall be free," are not just political statements. It's another way of saying we want this country, this area, to be free of Jews. Now, our Shalom Festival has the exact opposite message. So this year what we did, we extended our event to 3 days, because we wanted to bring over more people from Israel and to make better use of their time. So we brought over Israelis who are Jewish and Christian and Muslim and Bedouin and Druze and Baha'i, but we also brought over Palestinians, because all of them together, through their message, through their life, through their friendships, through their art, want to share a message that there has to be a planned and a shared future. We believe this message is such a positive one that it is unboycottable by any sane and sensible person. And lo and behold, we've only had a few protesters outside the second Shalom Festival, and their protest amounted to writing offensive words in chalk on the pavement. One reason why we have had such a smaller protest is that we've got the support of all three party political leaders in Scotland. They understand what we're about. They are buying into it and showing that they're conscious of the message that we have, and they are commanded by it as well as being committed to it. Namely, that peaceful coexistence has to be the way forward.
And I am proud to be here. I'm proud to the wonderful people who are here. Those who want to look for politics, those who want to argue with politics, if they do believe in freedom of speech, they have to respect others. If they want to challenge us in politics, they are different, another place. But I don't believe even they do care for the Palestinians. Because if they would care for the Palestinians really, they would encourage and support dialogue between Palestinians and Israelis.
It's a great addition to the Edinburgh Festival. It brings a different story in a different format.
Israel is a multicultural and a multi-ethnic country. So in order to reflect that, we have brought over Israelis who are Christians, who are Druze, Bedouin, Muslims, Arabs, Ahmadiyya Muslims, and those who identify as Palestinian.
I started doing rockets into roses after a close encounter with one of the rockets. One of the rockets fell about 50 meters next to me. And when I came home, I was restless. I was suffering from trauma, and I didn't know exactly what I want to do. But when I came home and saw one of the rockets sitting on the table, I decided to transfer it from darkness into light, from a bad thing into a good thing. So I started to cut all the rockets and made them into sculptures, into flowers.
And the message of Shalom is one I want to leave you with ringing in your ears. It's positive, and it's encouraging, and it's full of hope. And it's this one, that the future belongs to us, those of us who believe in peace, in Shalom.
I've certainly been in and around the exhibition. I've seen new things, I've learned some new things, and like most events that I get to attend, I've come away with information I didn't know before, so I feel certainly much better for it.
This year, in 2017, despite the protests of the 2016 festival, the International Shalom Festival has grown from a one-day to a three-day event, promoting the marvellously diverse Israeli culture. It addressed the challenges of coexistence and the complexities of modern Israel. 2017 saw the return of many Israeli performers to the Edinburgh Fringe who were able to perform without the public disruption from their performances. Many people in the UK care about Israel and support her right to be treated fairly. In England and Wales, the Public Order Act 1986 prohibits expressions of racial hatred, which is defined as hatred against a group of persons by reason of group's colour, race, nationality, including citizenship, or ethnic or national origins. Scotland also has legislation against racial hatred. So why are these expressions of hatred against Israel allowed? Why do we allow intimidation of venues, preventing Israel acts from performing? Why do we allow intimidation of Israeli businesses? We need politicians, administrations and law enforcers to stand firm against those promoting hate. Action is needed to ensure that Israelis who want to share their culture, their innovations and their businesses are free from racist harassment, bullying and intimidation anywhere in the UK.